guys have been watching the Top to Bottom series, you've already seen some strategies and tips for squirrel hunting. Got to see the actual hunt, how to clean them. Today we're going to show you another step that I like to incorporate into the Top to Bottom series. I'm the owner of Stony Creek Wildlife Studio, a taxidermy business in northern Indiana, and I've been doing taxidermy for about 15 years now. And I think that's one of the best ways that you can have the hunt last on later and kind of pay tribute to the animal that you harvested by actually mounting it in a pose and displaying it and keeping it there to remember for the rest of your life. I had a friend of mine call me up, and he had taken his grandson hunting for the first time for squirrels and got his first squirrel, and we're going to go ahead and show you how we're going to mount this squirrel for his grandson. So when it comes to picking the pose, a lot of people will pick something based on something that they remember from the hunt. The squirrel was running down a branch and stopped at a certain moment and turned his head a certain way, or was climbing up a tree. Things like that that were actually part of the hunt. That's usually what people use to pick the pose that they're going to do. It also depends on where you're going to put it. If you have limited shelf space, you're probably going to want something that hangs on the wall, and that'll lend itself better to certain types of positions. Or if you have shelf space, it opens up some new options that weren't available if you're going to have it hanging on the wall. Once the customers pick the pose that they're going to use, it's best to kind of think about how that's going to be displayed and make your decision on where you're going to do your incision according to the pose so it'll hide it best. One thing that's nice about mounting a squirrel is that the skin's really pretty durable, pretty tough, so it makes it a little bit easier to work with as opposed to, say, a rabbit or something like that that has a lot thinner skin. On this squirrel here, my friend said just go ahead and use my creativity and pick a pose that I thought would be cool. He does want something that's going to sit on his dresser. So I decided to do a pose where there's a little tree stump and the squirrel's actually perched on the top of it like he's getting ready to climb down. Maybe he's been dropping some acorns from the tree up top and he's come down and he's getting ready to find his acorns and hide them. So we're going to go with a pose like that. And since I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and decide that the spot that's not going to be visible is... I haven't really decided how I'm doing it. So if you're getting started in taxidermy, a squirrel is really a great first project to work on. The supplies aren't that expensive. The specimens are readily available, easy to get, and they're fairly easy to work with, a little bit forgiving on mistakes. So it's a great thing to use if you're just getting started into it. This video isn't meant to be a step-by-step tutorial on how to mount a squirrel. It's just kind of an overview. But if you guys are interested in something like that, just leave some messages down in the comments and we'll see if we can get something put together if there's enough interest in it.